EBAMed is developing the next generation radiation therapy device to treat cardiac arrhythmias from outside, to deliver radiation treatment with unprecedented accuracy. I'm here today to close my Series A round. We got 14 out of 16 million. I only have 2 million left for you, and I'm happy to have a few minutes of your attention to tell you everything about this. Let's start with the problem and some numbers. There are over 900,000 new patients every year suffering from ventricular tachycardia. This is a very life-threatening condition, and this is currently treated with drug, implantable defibrillators, so defibrillation therapy, and finally, catheter ablation. Now, drugs in the long term are associated with side effects. Defibrillation is great. It delivers shocks to save lives, but does not resolve the arrhythmias. And catheter ablation are a procedure. It's an invasive procedure. It's highly complicated and currently does not lead for ventricular tachycardia optimal results. It results in very high recurrency rate. So I'm here to talk about cardiac radioablation that overcomes the main challenges of catheter ablation. Here. So what you see on the first picture is the VT target that a cardiologist is identifying. This is the area that we need to ablate. And if we do so with an ablation catheter, we introduce a catheter inside the heart, and we attempt to create lesion in the ventricle. But with current tools, the lesion you can create produces lesion of 5 millimeter depth. And the ventricle, it's quite thick, and especially in the mid-septum. This can be as large as 2.5 centimeters. And the area you want to ablate is quite large, as you can see from this red target. So what you can do with radiation therapy is you can create three-dimensional lesion in just a few minutes. What you do today with catheter, with 4 to 6 hours in the cath lab, can be done in a few minutes by radiotherapist. So at the end, so in conclusion, cardiac radioablation can overcome the main challenges of catheter ablation. It results in a safer, faster, reproducible procedure. Our market of reference is the ablation catheter market. There is a significant opportunity for EBAMed because over 40% of patients presenting with sign and symptom of ventricular tachycardia can benefit from image-guided cardiac radioablation. We will leverage the existing infrastructure of catheter treatment centers, the unused capacity of these centers, and the opportunity is significant. This is a disruptive technology, and we will end with an acquisition, most likely. What is the challenge is EBAMed addressing? The challenge is that radiotherapy devices were developed to treat no motion or slow motion targets. And the heart is quite challenging because the heart is beating, the patient is breathing, and so the amplitude of motion is quite large, and the speed of motion is also very fast. Today, cardiac radiotherapy is already a reality, but what the clinical physicians are doing is, in order to accommodate for motion uncertainties, they treat today an area, a volume, which is 3 to 5 times larger than the clinical target. And this might result in excessive dose to the heart, and so we want to address this. So my company has developed a unique image-guided system that intakes the treatment plans and intakes ECG and echocardiographic signals to feed a deep learning algorithm that is able to track cardiac targets and see when the cardiac target is in the correct beam range or not. And through a gating interface, we are able to control the external beam and stop or start the beam at the right moment. And this is compatible with currently available radiation therapy devices as well as future generation of devices. So I want to give you an example about this type of treatment. On the left side, you see a patient that was treated with a catheter so far. As you can imagine from all these tubes and catheters, this is quite challenging. And in the middle of the picture here, you see a patient who just received a cardiac radioablation procedure. And if this were one of your family members, wouldn't it be nice to have your dad or your brother coming home on the same day of the procedure, just having dinner with you? If we add, in addition to this, the benefit of image guidance, we will end up in even more precise medicine. We will deliver over 25% sparing of dose to non-target tissues, and we will overall provide better cardiac function post-ablation. The team of EBAMed is quite experienced. We come from a vast medical device industry experience. So I myself joined in 2021, and I work for Medtronic and Jude Medical. I also work for Symetis, a transcatheter aortic valve that was acquired by Boston Scientific. The technical, regulatory, and clinical team is extremely knowledgeable, both in the field of cardiology, radiotherapy, proton therapy, and startup. On the right side, you can see my board. The chairman of the board is Michael Coxfield. He's American. He comes for over 30 years of experience in the radiotherapy field. And the lead investor of my company is Panacas Partners in Milan, and Barbara Castellano is representing the lead investor here. The company has a very robust IP portfolio. We have an exclusive license from the Mayo Clinic that covers for the use of particle beams technology for the treatment of cardiac arrhythmias, and we have our own patents as well. In total, 5 patents has been granted in the last year, and as well as a design application. So what we protect is the use of ultrasound and ECG to monitor and manage motion. We have probe geometries for performing hands-free echo imaging on the chest of the patient. And then, of course, we are able to protect our software to quantify the displacement of the heart as a result of this during this for cardiac radioablation procedure. Here is a 2x2 chart where you can see the field of tools available for monitoring motion and tracking motion. And as you can see here, left to right, you gain speed of motion and complexity of motion to be handled. From the bottom to the top, you see the evolution of technologies. And what you can see is the existing respiratory gating systems. They are relying on surface imaging to monitor motion, or they have sensors, pressure sensors, laser sensors to track the motion of the patient. But all of this is tracking of external marker, which is not enough precise. MRI LINAC, they are able to collect 4 images of the heart per second. EBAMed technology is able to collect 50 images of the heart per second. So we are the only technology available in the market able to address cardiac motion. Our roadmap is presented here. In 2021, we imaged 24 real-life VT patients to prove the feasibility of automatic echo imaging and displacement quantification. Later on, we connected our machine to various vendors to measure latencies and responses time of these devices. And then more recently, we completed in UPenn a preclinical study to prove the feasibility of delivering dual-gated irrigation using proton machines. We are currently in our Series A period, and we have 12 months ahead of us between development and verification of our tools. And what we plan to do next is to start and finish a first-in-human clinical trial. And this is where I'm looking for the last investors to join the group. Following this initial feasibility trial, in order to obtain a clinical indication for the use of protons and image guidance in the field of VT, a PMA study is also planned. So, in conclusion, and this is my last slide, I would like to remind everybody that there is a tremendous opportunity for us as we are going to treat patients in a single fraction with a painless and non-invasive new therapeutic approach, which is cost-effective and highly needed. We have the team to make this happen. We have the IP to be a leader in this field. This cardiac radioablation business is going to be very profitable, so we look forward to, together with you, deliver our dream and bring something to the market that is finally valuable for the patient, for the hospital, for the doctor, and for the payroll. Thank you very much for your attention.